What's up, brother? I just want to comment on your video, some of the things you said in your video, and some of the things that you said in the description of your video. One being that you were implying that the people out of New York, the black conscious movement out of New York, are basically given misinformation. And you go on the list a few of them, like Sarah Suit Seti, the Hebrew Israelites. I think you even had some of the black Hebrew Israelites in there, like Grand Master, if you consider them part of the black conscious movement. You have Sarah Suit Seti, you have Brooklyn God, you have some Moors, Aline Bay, and so forth. And then you went on to say that you was listening to a radio interview, and the interviewer asked the guest if the white man was the problem, and you said that the guest hesitated with the question, and you implied therefore that guest has no, whatever he says has no validity. I sort of disagree with that conclusion that you came to, because I think that there are many people out there who have an interest in black people for their betterment, but don't necessarily focus on whether or not the white man is the enemy. For instance, you have many people who call themselves Christians who believe that this world can be a better place for all of us, and who want to change the condition of black people for the better, and without focusing so much on whether or not the white man is the enemy. And as far as the information, the misinformation that you said that it's coming out of New York from some of the people in the black conscious movement, I happen to look at a lot of people on here. I look at some of your videos. I look at Sarah Suit Seti. I look at Aline Bay. I don't watch Grand Master because I think they're totally insane. But I try to take the good out of what each of them have to say. I don't agree with all of them, but whatever I hear good in any of them, that's what I try to pull out. For instance, you made a comment that why are the Moors focusing so much on whether or not you have to have a driver's license? Well, that's not the issue with the Moors. From what I understand, what I got out of the Moors teaching, or from listening to them, they feel the main issue that black people have is their sovereignty and their status. In other words, the main issue in law is status. That determines whether or not rights are going to be applied to you. And as far as sovereignty, they feel that sovereignty, when you're sovereign, you are the law. You are in charge. And if you're not sovereign, then those who are in charge can use the law against you. And if your status is not correct, then you have no place in the law. And basically, this is what the Moors are teaching. We don't have any status within the law. We don't have any nationality. And law is universal, and it's just a universal concept that law only applies to nations. So if you're not a nation, then the law isn't. They don't have any right or obligation to respect you as a people, and that's what the Moors teach. So this is what basically this driving license issue is about, because the driver's license basically comes from an old slave law where when you were a slave, you had to have traveling papers and they could stop you. Now, white people didn't have to carry these papers, but black people had to carry them papers. So basically, when you have a driver's license, whether you're black or white, the police are acting as a slave master or a white person, and anybody who has a driver's license is basically a black person. So this is why the driver's license issue with the Moors is such a big thing, because it establishes a relationship between a slave and a white master. Those who carry driver's license, whether you're white or black, you're a slave, because the driver's license or any other contract, the driver's license is basically a contract that connects you to what they call the United States Corporation of America, and that anybody that has like a birth certificate or a driver's license are subjects to of the Corporation of the United States of America, and are subject to the laws that they establish. But when you're sovereign and you cut out your driver's license, then those laws that all of the people in the United States Corporation are under, you're not subject to those laws because they don't apply to you. So that's a very interesting concept. And from that aspect, this is why I really appreciate the teachings of the Moors. Now, and I appreciate the teachings of the 5%ers. You also mentioned something about the 5%ers, that the 5%ers are regional. Their teachings are regionals. But from what I understand, maybe they came out of New York with Clarence X, or they came out of the Nation of Islam. But from what I understand, this 5%ers all over the nation. But knowledge in itself is not regional. These 5%ers have some deep advanced knowledge in geometry and science. Well, I'm sure you know. I'm sure I'm not telling you anything new. From what I understand, you had your own TV show, and plus you yourself was a Hebrew Israelite, and you studied the Bible, and you probably know something about Islam or whatever. But what I got out of the 5% teachings is their deep understanding of religious or religion, metaphysics, mathematics, geometry, and science. Basically science and mathematics. And I hear a lot of young people on here. I had a guy that was 19 years old, and I was conversating with him through text on here, and this guy talked like, or conversated like, he held a PhD. So a lot of these people who are in the 5% movement totally blew my mind with the advanced knowledge that they have. And as far as the now, I don't know what section of the Black Conscious Movement you hold on to, whether it's black nationalism or Egyptologist. I really don't hold on to one particular doctrine. Like I said, I take the good out of all of them. But you have a lot of black nationalist people on here who are teaching that our problem stems from the white man. But my thing is, we should focus more on learning who we are as a people, whether that knowledge comes from 5%ers, that knowledge comes from the Moors, or whether it comes from Hebrew Israelites who teach that we as a people are the children of Israel. We should focus more on that aspect of it instead of making a determination of whether or not someone has validity based on his opinion of whether or not the white man is the enemy. So that's basically my comment on your video and on the description that you have up on your video.